Okay, we've all been there, right? Stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, just watching the clock tick away. It feels hopeless. But what if we could finally untangle that chaos? Today, we're going to look at a brand new AI framework that's designed to do just that. Not just understand city traffic, but actually predict it. I mean, seriously, just imagine this for a second. What if your phone buzzed with an alert? Not about a traffic jam that's already there, but about one that's going to form in the next half hour, giving you plenty of time to take a different route and miss it completely. And look, this isn't some far off sci fi fantasy. It's the exact problem that a new generation of AI is trying to solve right now.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get a handle on just how big this gridlock problem really is. Then, we'll unpack why it's so darn hard to predict. After that, we'll dive into this really cool new model, HyperGNN LSTM, and see how it works. And finally, we'll look at what all this could mean for the future of how we all get around. All right, let's start with the problem itself, because to really appreciate the solution, you've got to understand the massive scale of the challenge we're facing. And trust me, it goes way beyond just a few annoying red lights. Just take a look at this number. In a lot of big cities, the average person wastes over 100 hours a year stuck in traffic. That is more than 2 full work weeks. Imagine taking your entire 2-week vacation and just spending it sitting in your car, going absolutely nowhere. It's an incredible drain on our time, our money, and let's be honest, our sanity. And that right there, that's the big mental shift we need to make. Traffic isn't just your personal bad luck. Nope. It's a huge, complicated system where one little fender bender can cause a ripple effect that snarls up roads for miles. And that affects everything, from how quickly an ambulance can get to an emergency to whether the stuff you ordered online arrives on time. So, if we all know traffic is a nightmare, why is it so hard to fix? Well, it turns out predicting how a city flows is incredibly difficult, mostly because our cities are way more complicated than they look on a map. This slide just nails the difference. See, a simple computer model looks at a map and says, okay, road A connects to road B. Easy. But the reality? Oh, the reality is so much messier. The flow on Road A is actually being affected by a bus that keeps stopping, a bunch of people at a crosswalk, the traffic from a big concert that just let out, and hey, maybe it just started raining and everyone's slowing down. Now, there's a super technical term for this, higher order spatial dependencies. It sounds complicated, but all it really means are all those hidden connections we just talked about. Old models, they get that Road A connects to Road B. What they don't get is how the bus stop, the concert, and the weather are all messing with that one piece of road at the very same time. So how in the world do you build a model that can see all that complexity? Well, this is where a much smarter tool comes into play. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, the HyperGNN LSTM framework, but it's been built from the ground up to see our cities for what they really are: messy, interconnected, and constantly changing. Okay, so to get what's so special about this new model, let's first look at the old way of doing things. That's a graph neural network, or a GNN. The best way to think about it is like a regular old city map. It's really good at seeing direct links. This intersection connects to that one. It's a decent start, but it's totally missing the bigger picture. And this is where things get really cool. This new approach, a hypergraph neural network, sees so much more. It understands that an intersection isn't just a dot where two lines cross. No way. It's a complex hub, what they call a hyperedge, that connects a whole bunch of different things at once. The roads, sure, but also the crosswalk, the bus route, and that bike sharing station on the corner. It sees all those hidden relationships. And that right there is the game changer. By seeing the city as this web of interconnected hubs, the framework can finally start to capture a level of detail that was basically invisible before. It's not modeling a static map anymore. It's modeling a living, breathing system. So, how does this thing actually pull it off? How does it predict the future? Well, the secret sauce is in how it combines two different kinds of intelligence, one that understands space and one that understands time. It's basically a 3-step dance. First, that HyperGNN part we talked about maps out the city's complex space. Then, the second piece, an LSTM, goes to work on time. You can think of the LSTM as having a memory. It learns the rhythm of the city. It knows that, 8 a.m. on a Monday is a totally different beast from 2 p.m. on a Saturday. And finally, by smashing together that detailed map of space with that deep memory of time, the model can make these multi-horizon predictions.
seeing what traffic will look like 15, 30, even 60 minutes from now.
So here's the bottom line, the one thing to remember. Think of it like a brilliant musician. The Hyper-GNN can read the sheet music perfectly. That's the city's physical layout. And the LSTM has this incredible sense of tempo and timing. That's the city's rhythm. You absolutely need both to play the music right, and you need both to predict traffic accurately.
Okay, this tech is super cool, but let's bring it back down to earth. So what? What does any of this actually mean for you and me, for our daily lives? Well, this is where it gets really, really exciting.
I mean, we're talking about some seriously world-changing stuff here. Think about navigation apps that don't just react to a jam, they proactively tell you to turn before the jam even exists. Or traffic lights that intelligently change their own timing based on the predicted flow of cars, not some dumb, rigid schedule. This could lead to way better bus routes, smarter city planning, and, yeah, maybe, just maybe, getting back some of those hundreds of hours we all lose every single year.
And really, when you zoom out, this isn't just about saving a few minutes on your drive. This is about reimagining our cities. It's about creating urban spaces that just work better. Cities that are less choked with traffic, less colluded, and a whole lot less stressful. And that's better for everyone.
So I'll leave you with this thought. If this kind of network-based thinking can untangle something as messy as traffic, what else could we use it for? What about managing public health resources, or optimizing supply chains, or even making our emergency services faster? Our cities are filled with these incredibly complex, hidden connections, and it feels like we're just now finally learning how to read the map.